Hi guys, it's Granny Tana speaking. Welcome to this FS25 Check video. In this video I check out the top crops of FS25 and I wanted to know with which crop I get the most money on 1 hectare field. Yeah, and I calculated all the numbers and I got good crops and not so good crops. And here we are, and I'll show you all the crops that grow on the field except grass, because grass is a topic in itself. So it differs if you harvest it after 2 months or after 3 months and so forth. This will be a different topic. And there are no real trees because it takes so long. It depends on which tree you grow and which distance you have between the trees. So no trees here. Yeah, and my numbers might differ from numbers that other YouTubers have found out, and that might come from different conditions. So everyone sets certain conditions for how they calculate things, how they find out the numbers, and then it might change. So I have it only the base yield without fertilizer and without any yield bonus. So this is just the base. And if you fertilize your field and do all the plowing and liming and all kinds of stuff, then you get double the amount. So if other YouTubers tell you, oh, on my fields I have double the amount, yeah, they might do all the fertilizing stuff and so. My prices in this overview are average prices. Average prices throughout the year and in between the different selling stations. And if you wait till you get the best price, you might get a better price. So my numbers are rather at the lower end of what you can get from a field because of this no yield bonus and because of the average prices. And how much more you can get if you sell at the best price differs from crop to crop. Some have a very big range between the lowest and the highest price, and others have not such a big range. And yeah, that might lead to different results also. Yeah, so that being said, we can start with the first crop, and that is the crop where you get the least income. This is wheat without harvesting the straw and just harvesting the wheat. And on this image I tell you what are all the numbers about, and later I will only read the easy price to you to not get not in my tongue, and it would just be too much numbers to read them. But you can always have a look, and you can, if you want to know what is what, then you can come back to the place where it is. You can easily read all the numbers. So the first thing is the yield per square meter. And that adds up 10,000 times to the yield per hectare. And then we have the price per liter, and that adds up or multiplies itself with 1,000, because we usually have the price per 1,000 liter. And when we calculate all that, we get the income per hectare. And on hard mode, this is 220 2,999 in this case. And it is always like that, that hard mode is the base of the prices, so to say. And then the normal mode is 1.8 times as much as the hard mode. And easy mode is always 3 times as much as the hard mode. So those numbers, the 1.8 and the 3 times, they are fixed throughout the game. That has nothing to do with my findings, but this is part of the game between the 3 difficulty modes. So, and if you play on easy mode, you can earn 98 dollars. Maybe you wonder why I very often have this problem with numbers between 20 and 100, because in Germany we say it just the opposite way, and it's stupid to do it the German way, but it is as it is. And so I always have to switch from the German numbers to the English numbers, and therefore I get confused rather often. I'm very sorry about this. And it still can happen without me realizing that it happened again. But I try my best. So, this is wheat without straw. Barley is the next. You get 9,014 in easy mode. And maybe you wonder why barley is a little bit more successful, because you have a bigger yield. And then we have oat, and you get 9,097. And this is because the price is better for the oat. And in the end, it's very close together for all those 3. And then we have maize or corn, and you harvest the corn for eating. And you get 10,488. And for canola you get 10,492. For sunflower 10,499. And here we have one exception. On the other images I always show the harvest ready stage. But the sunflower harvest ready stage looks very sad. And this not yet harvest ready stage of the sunflowers is so nice. I decided I take this because it would have been too sad to show the other one. But I made a hint down there that you know this is no harvest ready sunflower. Okay, soybean. It's 10,503. So the soybean is rather in the top area of the normal crops. But sorghum is even better. It's 10,578. And then we have a wheat with straw. It is more work, and you need a loading wagon or a baler for this, but you get $1,509 dollars more in hard mode. Yeah, and on easy mode you get 13,524. This is much more than, let's see, the sorghum. So it's to harvest with straw is totally worth it. And then we have barley with straw, 13,541. Oat with straw, 13,624. And then comes the long grain rice. It's 14,310. And this is without straw. And so the long grain rice is not too bad, which is good because you can harvest it with a normal harvester. Then we have the pea. It's 14,976. And you need a very expensive harvester. Same with the green bean, 15,066. Another very expensive harvester. And then the grape, 16,643, and not so expensive, but still rather expensive harvester, and a lot of work. But it grows back. And the same with the olives, 16,643. And then we have the cotton, another very expensive harvester, 18,667. And now we get the beetroot. And this is 21,155. You can harvest it with a cheap and tiny harvester, but it's a lot of work. But it's worth it, I would say. And now we have the rice in the Asian method, grown completely in the water, and you get 21,780, which is very nice money, I would say. But you need the special equipment. It's not so expensive, but special. And here we have silage from maize or corn. You harvest it with a forage harvester, and then you make silage out of it. So especially because of the silage making process in a bunker silo, it's quite a lot of work, but you get $26,063 per hectare. And yeah, you need a forage harvester, which is usually rather expensive, but there is a version in the game where you can use your tractor and then do the forage harvesting, and that solution is below 200,000. And therefore it's okayish from the investment, and a rather lot of work. A lot of players love to do this kind of harvesting and make a party out of it, and it's rather lucrative. So then we have parsnip, even more lucrative, 27,314. And the simple old potato is even more lucrative, 27,506. And here we have the good old sugar beet, 29,825. But in FS25 we don't have a rather cheap harvester. We only have the stand-alone harvesters, the self-propelled, and they are expensive, and that makes sugar beet much more difficult, at least for the beginning. But if you have such a big sugar beet harvester, you get quite a lot of money out of it. And then we have the carrot. You get even more with a cheap harvester if you are small. 30,492. And here is the spinach. You can harvest it 2 times a year, and this yield and income calculates both harvests. You get 30,492 with a very expensive harvester. And here we have sugarcane. You get 40,484. This is much more than the one before. However, the sugarcane harvester is a self-propelled one, expensive one, and we don't have the cheap one, the lizard one, in the base game anymore. So it's expensive to harvest sugarcane. But the good thing is it grows back. And now we come to the first place, and I think you might know it already because I couldn't wait to make a video about it, because I was so excited that I found out that crop that is so extremely lucrative. It's 2 times as lucrative as the sugarcane, and nearly 10 times as lucrative as the wheat without straw. It's unbelievable. I still can't really believe it. It's poplar. And poplar is, it's not a tree in this version. If you have it in reality and you plant one, it can grow to a tree, but in this case it only grows a few meters high, only for 13 months, and then you cut it and make wood chips out of it, and you can earn $80,216 on 1 hectare in FS25. It has been like this already in FS22, but I have never seen it because I never checked the poplar. I tried it in FS19, and then the price for the wood chips was much lower. It was a fourth of that price, so only 25%. And then it was not such a big thing for the income. And I thought, oh, poplar is too much work, not so interesting. And in FS22, I didn't even check. And now I did this calculation, and I thought, hey, what is this poplar? Where does it come from? And I checked, and it was the same in FS22. Yeah, and I think I will grow poplar in every safe game now. I made a video about how much money you can earn, and a tutorial how you can grow it. So there you can see which machines you can use, and so forth. And you can use the same forage harvester small machine on the tractor like for the corn silage, and a special header especially for poplars, or you could even bale it. So there are affordable possibilities to harvest it. It's still quite a lot of work, but you get so much money out of it. I would recommend don't start on a really huge field, because that just takes too long. And try it at, let's say, 1 hectare or 2 hectare. That is enough for the beginning. Then you know how much work it is, and then you can plant it on bigger fields. And what is important? The planting should be dense. So it's not the basic settings for the planting. Then you have 2 big gaps in between, and the yield will be smaller than if you plant it dense, really as dense as possible. And it needs 13 months to grow, which is quite a lot. But then it grows back. And if you have plowing active, then you should plow after 3 harvest cycles and then replant it. And if you don't have plowing active, then you can just let it regrow forever and ever. Yeah. So poplar is the victory. And here I have an image that shows you all the numbers are down there, but this is more for visualization. We had the numbers before on the single crop slides, and here you can just see how far away the poplar is from everything else. And even the sugarcane is only half of the income from the poplar, but still much better than the next one. And then it is going down and down and down, and we have some groups. So at the bottom we have oat, barley and wheat with nearly the same, and then on top of it we have another group with the rest of the normal field crops, and then we have the crops with straw. Yeah, and what I really like is the long grain rice is on top of the crops with straw. I could imagine to grow quite a bit of long grain rice because it's easy peasy. The other rice brings you much more money, but it's not easy peasy. And then we have a whole bunch of very expensive or tedious crops. And yeah, and poplar is a tedious crop as well, I must admit. Yeah, and now I thought, okay, but when I'm a beginner, I can't grow sugarcane or spinach. I don't have the money for the harvester. All those harvesters are so expensive. I limit the choice of the crops to harvesters that are below 200,000 bucks. And I made another list. Here we have harvesters below 200,000 bucks, and poplar is still with us because of this header that you can use with the tractor for the special forage harvester machine. I don't know how it is called. And because you could harvest poplar with a special baler. Yeah, but all the peas and spinach are out. The carrots and parsnips and red beet, they are still there because we have this very tedious but cheap harvesters. So carrot is the second choice. And what was very strange, and I just saw it today when I checked for the machines, we don't have an affordable sugar beet harvester. They are all self-propelled. No, maybe I said it already. But I'm really worried about, before you could always have this sugar beet harvester that you put behind your tractor and then harvest with that, and that is no more possible. And I find it very sad. So we have no sugar beets in this list. But the potato is there, but just barely. The Kyler from Ropa costs 190,000 bucks. And I really thought, oui. So it was good for me to choose the 200,000. I thought about 200,000 before I saw this. And the potatoes are just barely within this limit. Yeah, and oh, the olive and grape don't belong there. They should be out. This is a mistake. So forget about the olive and grapes. The harvesters are more expensive. So, and other than that, I think it's okay. Yeah, so that's it about the top crops. And for me, the most surprising thing is the poplar. And then what I find very interesting is the carrot, that it is so high up. And therefore, I'm planning to grow quite some carrots in my safe games. Yeah, what do you think about those numbers? Tell me in the comments below. If you want to buy FS25 now, I would be happy if you use my Granny Tana order link for PCs. The link is in the video description below. This allows me to make the videos earlier. Now I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you for watching and all the best till next time. Tschüss.